Hey, I thought I'd make a quick video in response to, I see people celebrating that one of the largest Planned Parenthoods in the country might be shutting down, the one in Texas, I think, and people see that as a victory. And a couple years back, I had told people that kind of predicted that. I saw a shift, especially during COVID, to people doing chemical abortions. People are able to do mail order abortions. During COVID, they made it very, very simple for women to not even have to go to a doctor's office. So what that did is it kind of shifted it so that people were able to do the chemical abortions. And I figured what would happen is eventually that would be the primary source for abortions. And the Planned Parenthoods and abortion clinics all over the country would eventually start shutting down. And pro-life folks would see it as a huge victory and hoorah, hoorah. But actually, it's not. I think abortion will become even more prevalent, even more common. I make the analogy like this. When I was a young man back a bunch of years ago, if I, as a young man, wanted to see pornography, unless I was able to find it at a friend's house or somewhere, because it would be in some kind of publication, typically, it would be a magazine or something. I'd have to wind up finding it somewhere, or if I wanted it, I'd have to go to the 7-Eleven or something. They'd have these little black sleeves and the dirty magazines would be back behind that. And you'd have to actually ask the guy for one of those, and you'd have to be of a certain age. Or at the video store, they had that dirty little back room with the black curtains. Anybody remember that? I just remember always as a kid wondering what's in there, and you'd see these dirty old guys walking in and out of there. So at some level, for people to obtain pornography, they had to endure some amount of shame. People were watching them go in and out. As I can still remember watching men go in and out of that room and being, what is going on in there? And you could see them, they just look all shameful. So in a way, pornography, making it so it was difficult to get, or I shouldn't say it was made that way. It's just the internet didn't exist yet. So pornography wasn't as obtainable. But now it's everywhere. It's in your pocket. It's on this phone right here. You can look at pornography anywhere. Once the internet came around, you never had to go outside. You never had to look anyone in the face to get your pornography on. You get what I'm saying? There was no shame. It was taken out of the game. At the Planned Parenthood, when I go there and I stand out in front of that place, those people have to look you in the eyes. They have to hear what you have to say. They have to look other people in the eyes, people who know what they're doing. And at some level, there's an amount of shame that's involved with it. No matter what people say, how okay they say they are with it, you can't deny the fact that they know what they're doing. Other people know what they're doing. And there's shame involved. So Planned Parenthoods, the necessity to have to go to a place and stare people in the eye to murder your child is actually kind of a good thing. You see what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to make that comment because I don't see this a good thing at all. Women are going to be able to continue to murder their children, and it's going to be easier than ever before. They'll just have to go online, order up their pills. They could do it anywhere they want. They could sit on their couch, take that pill to starve their child, and they take the second one. I think it's the next day. And within a little while, they'll be on the toilet and they'll be giving birth to their dead or dying child into the toilet. And that's terrible. I don't think it should be a thing. I think abortion should be completely outlawed. We should have laws of equal protection for the preborn child. Everybody who's pro-life anyway, says that the life of the child in the womb is a person. That is a person. So if that's the case, the laws that protect people from being murdered should apply to all people. And if anyone says they're pro-life and they don't think that's the case, they are not pro-life, they are pro-choice. And you should wag your little finger at them and say, shame on you. What is the matter with you? What is wrong with people who think that these laws shouldn't apply to all people. And yeah, this might sound rude, but this might sound terrible, and I think I've heard people say that this is terrible. But the abortion pill, I've heard people say, well, it should be more regulated because it's so dangerous. I don't think so at all. I think the abortion pill should be extremely dangerous. I think if a woman wants to murder her child, there should be a massive amount of risk that comes along with that would cause her to not want to do it. Okay, you see what I'm saying? People do nasty things in dark alleys, right? Because they want to do it. It shouldn't be done in a place that's comfortable. It shouldn't be done safe. If you're going to murder your child, then those pills should be extremely dangerous and you should be taking risk. So that's just my thought on that. You might think I'm ignorant for that, but I'm just saying that it shouldn't be safe. It shouldn't be something regulated. It shouldn't be, as Planned Parenthood used to say. Of course, they removed this motto back a few years ago. They used to always say, we want to make it safe, legal, and rare. But after a while, they said, who are we kidding? We don't want to really make it that often. We don't want it to be legal. We don't want it to be rare, and or we don't want it to be illegal. We don't want it to be rare, and they're really not that concerned about it being safe either. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. The abortion clinics, as long as abortion is legal, they should have to go to the clinics and have to face people, and there should be shame involved, and I think that in some way curbs it. And if pills are going to be legal, well, then those pills should be dangerous, and that should also curb it until we finally pass laws of equal protection. So one of the things I always say to people who are pro-life, especially if you're donating money to different pro-life, I call them industries, do not donate. First of all, if you're going to donate to a place, ask them if they would be in favor of laws of equal protection. Like they would get behind laws of equal protection. And if they are not, if they think that's bad for women or whatever the case might be, don't give them a penny. Let those places dry up, let them close their doors, and find a place that's willing to get behind laws of equal protection. I know Endabortion now is. I know, who else? Endabortion now with Jeff Durbin is. There's another one, I can't remember the name of it right now, but do not give your money to people who are not fighting to actually end abortion. Back a few years ago, there was a law of equal protection that was made, or that was trying to get passed down in Oklahoma, I think, and 70 pro-life agencies signed a declaration that they would never get behind a bill of equal protection because women aren't murderers and women should never be treated as a murderer. And so they refuse to get behind laws of equal protection. And the thing about the laws of equal protection, it's not a law that tries to make or accuse a woman of being a murderer. It's just simply saying all life is equal and all life should be protected exactly the same. That's all it's saying. It's not making up any special laws against women who seek abortion. It's just saying you can't kill people, even if they're in the womb. So don't give any money to those places. Let those places dry up. Give to places who are fighting to actually end abortion. Because I'll say one more thing, and this is something that I had a hard time saying early on when I first started fighting against abortion. I would always want to be like, give everyone the benefit of the doubt. You know, if it's a pro-life agency or something, you know, they're all fighting just like I am to fight to end abortion. They've got good intentions, but what it comes down to is a lot of these industries, pro-life industries, I'm not gonna lie, they are in it for the money. And to get rid of abortion, they would be getting rid of their yearly income. Let's just be honest. They are pro-life industries. They make just as much money off this stuff, off the backs of dead babies, as the Planned Parenthoods do. Maybe even more so, because There's a lot of Christians who donate to these things, a lot of people who have good intentions, and man, these places just suck up that money, and they use it for all kinds of things, but they sure don't use it to create legislation of equal protection. They'll make all kinds of laws, pro-life laws. They say as long as you meet these criteria, you can then murder your child. For a little while, one of the craziest ones was there were Planned Parenthoods, and pro-life people actually made laws or fought to make laws that the hallways were too narrow. They didn't meet like the standards of a typical emergency room or hospital thing. So they made it, or they wanted to make it so that they had to have wider hallways. That was a pro-life law. So what happened? Planned Parenthood obliged. I think that's where you see your big mega centers, because they just met the criteria that the pro-life people said. As long as you can meet this criteria, you can have a clinic and murder children. So they met it. And then that only made Planned Parenthood even bigger, because all the little mom and pop abortion clinics couldn't keep up with it. It cost too much money to make these big places, but Planned Parenthood could afford it. It's just insane. Just to think about, even when I'm talking to people on the street, if I talk to people about abortion, I'll be like, you know, when is it okay to have an abortion? And they'll tell me, these are people who are atheists and stuff, they'll tell me, well, after it detects a heartbeat, or after a heartbeat is detected. And I'll be like, well, where did you get that from? Well, where they got that from is good intentioned pro-life people who said, well, hey, let's pass legislation, let's pass a heartbeat bill, so that way once a heartbeat is detected, you can no longer have an abortion. Well, the problem with that, of course, is we know that life begins at conception, not at heartbeat, right? And the second thing is, you're telling the very people who are going to give you an abortion that they're responsible for detecting a heartbeat. Can you tell me how do you think these people, you know how easy it is to do an ultrasound and conveniently not detect a heartbeat so that nobody hears it? And now you're relying on them to be honest? Oh boy. So anyway, that's my rant for that. I hope that this makes sense to you. And if there's any questions, love comments below in the video. I think this will probably be the very first video I post on the Disillusioned Christian YouTube channel, because there are many different topics that I have fought through, I continue to fight through, and I'm positive there are other people like me who are really facing some challenges in this day and age as a Christian, and I just want to work through them. I want to be as positive as I can. I want to address the things as biblically as I can, and I hope this is a blessing to the people who do watch. Please comment below. Have a blessed day.